I'm calling this meeting to order. Thank you for coming. I am going to read a brief statement. I will advise you that the meeting is being recorded by a resident, and the board has no control over this. It is allowed by statute because the board does not record the meetings. SBCA does not have anything to do with the recording, is not responsible for the content or quality of the recording or the dissemination of the recording, and does not bear any liability for any damages or issues that may arise from the recording being uploaded to YouTube or any other social media that is not safeguarded from view by anyone worldwide with internet access. If you want a copy of the recording, you may make that request to Sandy Seedy, who is doing the recording, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now, if you would please, if you are able to stand, join me in the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Anderson? Here. Josh?
Here.
Duffy? Here. French? Here. Judkins?
Here.
MacArthur?
Here. Are there any agenda deletions? None. Secretary's report?
The board meeting minutes of January 13th, January 20th, and January 26th, 2026 are in your director's packets. These minutes are submitted for your approval.
Are there any corrections to the board meeting minutes of January 13th, 20th, and 26th?
Madam Chair, I request that the minutes be voted on separately. January 13th and 20th can be combined, but I ask that the special meeting minutes for the 26th be heard separately and voted on separately.
I said that. Okay. The minutes of January 13th, and you said the 20th?
Yes.
Any corrections? Any discussion? None? Okay. The minutes are approved. The minutes of January 26th.
Madam Chair, I have some issues with those minutes. I'd like to express them at this time. If you read the minutes as they are going to be available to the general public, it appears that that meeting was about a 5-minute meeting. But apparently for those of you that were here, it actually was a 35-minute meeting with a lot of discussion that occurred. You know, when I review minutes of a meeting, whenever there's a unanimous vote, we just kind of pass over those because, you know, there was agreement amongst the entire board. But whenever there's a split vote where 1 or 2 or 3 people vote against something, it always raises a red flag to me and says, why? Why did that 1 or 2 or 3 people vote against the actions that was being proposed? Why are there no explanations on our meeting notes, minutes for that day? You know, every board member on this board commented that day, and yet there's zero disclosure. Unless you were here that day, you have absolutely no idea what really went on at that meeting.
That's right.
Even comments from the chair of the nominating committee were completely ignored. Now, we're dealing with replacement of a board member here. His comments, very valuable, completely ignored and nothing reported. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? You know, it's kind of ironic. You look at the subcommittee reports, which are part of our minutes. In fact, the minutes that we just approved, and there's all sorts of detail on those minutes. All sorts. I mean, ACC committee, I can tell you that there were 14 paint jobs that were requested in the village. There were 7 paver requests and 6 landscaping rocks requests. All sorts of detail. You can go to the communications committee. And what they did, and their activities, was to stimulate, promote attendance to bingo, all sorts of disclosure. You go to the security committee. And by God, we even know that residents were able to purchase hamburgers, hot dogs, drinks, and chips at that meeting. But yet, flip over to our special meeting that was called. Special meeting to replace a board member, very important. And you know what? Not a one comment is going to be disclosed to the general public.
That's right.
Geez, I wonder why that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question is, why do some on this board don't want the people of Sutherland Village to really know what is going on? The question is why. This is why I can't approve these minutes as they are incomplete. Minutes, you know, we always say how transparent we are up here. You tell me where the transparency is in the minutes of these special meetings. There is none. And for those reasons, until such a time as we can actually tell the people what went on at that meeting, I cannot support a passage of these meetings.
Okay. It's my understanding that Tom gave you an adequate explanation of that. And let me just add to that Robert's Rules of Order, which Richard is fond of, says the meeting minutes are the association's only official record. Minutes contain mainly a record of what was done at the meeting, not what was said by the members. In other words, records only record actionable items, not discussions. Additionally, it is not necessary to provide who voted in favor or against a motion and the name of the member who seconds the motion, and any comments made do not have to be included. And I call it Robert's Rules for Idiots, which is pretty much,
Oh my gosh.
it's a simplified version. The minutes should contain a record of what is done, not what is said. Minutes do not contain interjected personal comments or someone's opinion about what happened.
First up, Madam Chair, if I may, the comments I received back from our secretary, because I did send him my comments that I made, and I said, I would like these in the minutes. His answer was no. Why? Because, well, actually, let's go back. He said no. Basically, that was it. And he sent me just what Karen had mentioned, that, oh, we don't have to disclose anything, basically. We have to disclose the vote. So my question is, why do we accept committee reports that have all sorts of detail and comments and discussions, but when it comes to board action, we're mum? Why is that?
Why is that? Why?
Do you want to respond to that? Do you want to read any of this?
Well, I just went back and looked at all the minutes we've done for the last 5 years, and they've always
Doesn't make
included
it right.
reports from the committees, and that's one of our ways of getting information from the committees to the board. They've never included any comments or from names of residents and board members that spoke on a particular issue, but not particular comments. So that's the way I took the minutes. I agree with Karen that it's only supposed to be recording the actions taken with the official minutes of the association, and not everything that is actually said in the meeting. Because once you start trying to you write down everything and report everything that's been said at the meeting, there's always that chance you could leave something out or add something that the resident actually either didn't say it, or you can interpret it a different way when you write it down. So I think that's one of the reasons they don't include minutes. At think this is something as a board we could probably discuss, and if we need to work on policy and the way we take them, you know, we could do that.
Karen, didn't our lawyer also say that that's the way we do the minutes right now is good?
Can't hear you.
Okay, you're right.
Is there any other discussion?
Yes, in the president's remarks, I would like to add one thing that wasn't put in there. After Karen stated that the use of the video recorder was not sanctioned by the SVCA, I think you should insert members were instructed to speak to Cheryl if they wanted a copy.
Okay. Anything else?
So, Madam Chair, just so I'm totally clear on this, what your position is that you want no comments, you want no input from the crowd, because whatever these people that came here today have to say, we really don't care, because it's not gonna be in the minutes, we're not gonna record it, and we're gonna do whatever we wanna do, apparently. And that is,
Well, that's, the reason why these people are out here is because they're attending the meetings, Mark. That's why they're here. We're not putting like Tom says, this information here because it can be misquoted. So that's why they're all here, which is great. Everybody should be here to the meeting, so they know exactly what is said.
why are we so afraid to record the meetings then?
You're not
Record them
listening.
all.
You're not listening.
Record them all.
Okay, if this is going to continue, this yelling from the audience, we'll adjourn the meeting.
Of course you will. Of course you will.
Okay, is there any more discussion from the board?
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
regarding comments made by the board and comments made by the general public, is it not possible to say, so-and-so spoke regarding the election, so-and-so spoke regarding trash pickup, so-and-so spoke regarding, just that, so people that are reading the minutes know what happened and know if they have the same concerns, that somebody else has already brought those concerns to the board.
If, Cheryl, and I think that if the comments are that simple and a single focused comment, that it certainly is something that we can talk about and maybe figure out how to do that. But if you get somebody who speaks for 3 minutes and they have 5 different things that they want to say or they want to complain about, and you try to summarize that and you miss one of the things that they said, you can be in trouble.
Well, they can be corrected in the next time the minutes come up. That's why we have
The review.
draft minutes and minutes that can be, it's not like everybody's gonna jump into their car, run to the lawyers and sue you because you left something, they can correct the minutes.
Well, that's something we can talk about.
Hmm.
I don't have any personal problem with doing a brief 3 or 4 word summary about what somebody is saying. But it has to be consistent one way or another. And what we got from Mark that he wants inserted into the minutes is 2 pages long. That has to be published as well as posted. If you want 10-page minutes and you want to pay for publishing those minutes,
No. Oh, my gosh.
Mark, are you good with doing something that, like Karen suggested, we'll just put a topic, what was said by each person? That solve the problem, or
Well,
you want more detail?
Tom, that would be, when we're just talking about general comments at the end of the meeting, that would be fine. But when we have a vote of the board, when the motion is made and we have discussion and then we open it up to the audience for their comments. Even something as simple as so-and-so spoke in favor of the motion or against the motion,
Okay.
so that people have some sense as to, where did people stand on this issue?
Would you be okay if we grouped them? In other words, if there was an issue and you could say, members commented in favor of, and list the members.
That would be fine as well. At least it's something. Start.
Well, and will that be for minutes starting today, or I assume not retroactive to the 26th?
No, not retroactive to 26, and I can't guarantee that it'll start today.
Oh, my.
I'm
We
sorry.
can do it.
Okay, we can do it. They're also being recorded, so if you want a copy of the recording, you can see every word that's said. I'm sure Sandy will be happy to make the copy for you.
Absolutely.
Any other discussion by the board?
I do think that Mark is correct in what we need to do as far as more detail. I mean, the other option is we're gonna end up having a discussion within the board about having it officially recorded and posted on our website every month so that somebody can read it at the conference meeting.
So what's the motion now?
Well, I think the motion is still approving minutes, but
I think the motion is, I think the motion has to be made to approve as corrected.
All right. Call roll.
Anderson,
Yes?
Josh,
No.
Duffy, yes. French,
no.
Judkins,
Yes.
MacArthur.
Yes.
Here's the vote is 5-2, motion passes. 4-2. I'm sorry.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report as of January 31st, 2026. As of January 31st, the cash balances in the general accounts total $1,905,223.28. As of December 31st, that cash balance was $692,896.25. So we had a net increase in cash from December to the end of January of $1,212,327.03. Obviously, that's mostly related to everybody's dues and so forth, the income of that kind of funds. As far as the cash balance in the restricted replacement reserve fund, as of January 31st, there was $2,362,438.91, which was an increase December 31st. That balance had been $2,350,456.07, so there was a net increase of $11,892.84. Sources of cash was basically $25,925 of home sales, interest income of $1,357.84. Uses of cash for paying Perfectionaire, for replacing heat pumps number 3 and number 28 of $15,300. So I'd say net increase of $11,098.24. January 31st of 2026, the cash balance in the restricted capital asset fund accounts totaled $32,578.12. As of December 31st, that balance had been $32,573.97. So there's an increase of $4.15 of interest income. And that's the
Thank you. Manager's report.
The budget was positive for the month of January for year to date. Also, the home sales came at 13, which is 2 less the 20-year average. See me if you have any questions about it later on.
Thank you. Architectural Control?
Oh, that's me. The committee meets every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. in HOA conference room. The committee reviewed and approved 75 requests, 8 paint, 9 shingles and roof, 3 pergolas and patio covers, 7 windows, 5 glass walls, garage doors, landscape rock, 4 pavers, 3 gates, 2 additions, and 1 each for creation soffits, shed, solar, and stucco. 4 requests were declined by the committee.
And community standards?
75 violation notices were issued, 71 for weeds, 2 for trash visible, 1 political sign and flag, 1 parking, and 1 unapproved architectural change.
Buildings and Grounds by Tom Duffy.
Buildings and Grounds Committee meetings are generally held the first Wednesday of every month at 3 o'clock in the auditorium. The committee has not met in February. The next meeting is scheduled for March 4th in the auditorium at 3 o'clock.
Budget and Finance, Tom?
The committee did not meet in February.
Thank you. Courtesy Patrol. The Courtesy Patrol issued 9 open garage door notices. Don't let anybody do their shopping in your garage. Communications Committee. Cheryl, you want to go ahead and read that?
Sure. The Communications Committee meetings are generally held the fourth Friday of the month at 10 a.m. in the HOA office conference room. The committee did not meet in January, and the next meeting is scheduled for Friday, February 27th. And I'll be there.
Judicial Committee. The Judicial Committee meets on the third Thursday of the month at 2 p.m. in the HOA conference room. The Judicial Committee did not meet in January. The next meeting will be February 19th, 2026 at 2 o'clock in the HOA conference room. You are all invited to participate.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Security Committee. The Security Committee generally meets on the first Tuesday of the month at 10:30 in the HOA conference room. The committee met on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, and finalized plans for the SOS Stamp Out Scam seminar to be held in the auditorium on March 13th at 2 p.m., and we hope you will attend. Don Blake, the Public Information Officer for Mesa Police Department, and Sergeant Sheehan from the Mesa Police Broad Department will continue to educate us on how to protect ourselves and our money from scammers who are targeting senior citizens. There is no charge to attend. Snacks and drinks will be served, so you do need to sign up with Christie so we know how many tables and snacks to prepare. The committee reviewed the mission statement for the Security Committee, reviewed Mesa PD incident reports from January 2026, and the security tips that are included in every e-blast. The next meeting of the Security Committee will be held on Tuesday, March 3rd at 10 a.m. We welcome all residents to attend and participate. Special events. Who does special events?
I can do it.
Go ahead.
The Special Events Committee generally meets the 4th Tuesday of the month at 3:30 p.m. in the HOA office conference room. The committee met on January 27th, 2026, in attendance were Christy Captain, Kristen Stone, Patty Palmer, Al Adolph, Louise Herndon, Katie Stetcher, Deanne Diener, Carol Mertens. 3 guests, Deb Doss, Connie Krug, and Darlene Rawls were also in attendance. Discussions around safety concerns during the events, summer movie schedule and events, ambassadors and new resident welcome events, 2027 shows, ideas for new events, dances, daytime dances, New Year's Eve events. The next meeting will be held on February the 24th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. in the HOA office conference room. I wanted to make a note on that last night's Beatles concert was a great success. It was sold out. It was well attended, and we can attribute that to Christy scheduling that. And we have Christy does an excellent job in doing our activities for the community. So.
Thanks, Jerry. New business, the 2026 election results. The recent election was co-chaired by Randall Van Furt and Bonnie Deutsch. Deitch. I'm not getting that. We express our sincere appreciation to them and the entire election committee for their commitment, time, and effort. Annually, the board receives a report from the election committee, which is subsequently reviewed and approved by the board, including the election results. A copy of the election report presented by the co-chairs is attached. May I have a motion?
I move that the board approve the election report and accept the election results from the election held on January 16, 2026.
I will second the motion.
Board discussion? None? Member comment? None. Tom, call the roll, please.
Anderson,
Yes?
Josh,
Yes.
Duffy, yes. French,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
MacArthur.
Yes.
The vote is 6-0, motion passes.
Article 5, Section 2 of the bylaws stipulate that each year the board must approve the day and time of the coming year's regular board meetings. May I have a motion?
I move that the 2026 SPCA regular board meetings take place at 3:00 p.m. on the second Tuesday of each month in the Sunland Village Auditorium. The meetings in June, July, and August may be subject to cancellation.
Second.
I'll second.
Board discussion?
Madam Chairman, how soon will that be published in the bylaws for new residents to see?
I'm sorry?
How soon will that be published in the bylaws for new residents when they get their packet?
What will be published?
The time of the meetings.
I think it is. Isn't
It says 9 a.m.
it? Does it really?
Yeah.
I don't do
I
my
read it 3:00.
It says 9 a.m. in the
Yeah.
bylaw, but subject to change, bylaws give discretion to the board to change the time of the meeting.
So the change in the bylaws, you have to do a membership
It would have to go as an amendment
in January.
to the bylaws. The bylaws and the CCNRs don't get changed by the board.
Okay.
So then you should have that. It should be changed.
Um,
Gave you the discretion.
Is there any member comment? I think we,
Is there a reason why the board doesn't meet at 9? So that you don't have to change the bylaws?
we don't, well, okay.
It's a dumb question from a dumb guy.
I think it says, or any of
I think that's what Brian just said, that it's
set by the board.
Yeah, set by the board.
As a general rule, it's not a good idea for us to change the bylaws every time there's a misplaced comma or something like 9 o'clock in the morning or as declared by the board. So it's not a matter of law. And, I mean, you can, I suppose, but is it really necessary? I don't know.
We still have-
I think we're on, from the audience, thanks to Wayne. That's all right.
I was a resident here when that was 9 o'clock meetings. And I have to tell you about the 9 o'clock meetings. There were 27 members on the board. There were. They started at 9, they broke for lunch, and they were usually done at 3:30. So if you want to go to that, go ahead.
Any other discussion by the members? Okay, Tom?
Anderson,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Duffy, yes. French,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
MacArthur.
Yes.
Vote is 6-0, motion passes.
Okay. Committee appointments. We need to appoint committees for 2026. The following is a list of proposed committee assignments. Architectural Control, Chair Jerry Judkins, Vice Chair Tom Guppy, alternate board member Mark Dosh, members Loretta Knudzik, Joanne Mallers, and Carol Mertens. Budget and Finance, Chair Richard French, Vice Chair Mark Dosh, members Susan Miners, Peter Matheson, and Greg Ramsdell. Buildings and Grounds, Chair Tom Guppy, Vice Chair Cheryl Anderson, members Steve Bennett, Socorro Brown, Bill Mott, Jerry Peterman, Greg Ramsdell, and Susan Reeves. Communications, Chair Cheryl Anderson, members Denise Aiken, Sue Mott, and Roger Watson. Judicial Chair Karen MacArthur, Vice Chair Jerry Judkins, members Peter Matheson, Carol Machewski, Brenda Van Kirk, Paul Miners, and Socorro Brown, and alternate, what is the name of it? Alternate member, Loretta, did I just say Loretta Knudzik? Yeah, Loretta Knudzik. Security Chair Karen MacArthur, Vice Chair Tom Duffy, members Denise Aiken, Carol Mertens, Carol Machewski, Elaine Botman, and Donna Fagel. Special events, the committee remains as appointed in the fall of 2025. Nominating committee, members to be appointed in October 2026. Elections committee, members to be appointed later in 2026. Darwin Albrecht, the general manager, is ex officio to all committees. May I have a motion?
I move that the board approve the committee assignment as presented.
I'll second it.
Board discussion?
I'd like to add, for the Communications Committee, I'd like to add member May Golden.
May, M-A-E,
M-A-Y,
M-A-Y, Golden.
G-O-L-D-E-N.
Great.
And Madam Chair, on the special events, is that typically done, that the committee remains as appointed in the fall?
Special events, aren't they committees, aren't they, yeah, aren't they
They're
appointed for
yes.
like 3-year
Yeah, they're
terms?
generally,
They're appointed seasonally, appointed in September when the new season starts.
Thank you. Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any other board discussion?
So I would like to make this, again, we have a limited list that we use to appoint these members. So if any of you guys are interested in serving on committees, we'd be glad to have your input on your name submitted so that you could be instrumental in, knowing what's going on and also forming stuff with other projects and things that go on like that. So you guys have to come forward to us and let us know that you're interested.
And I would just like to say also, even if you're not on a committee, it's a great way to prepare yourself. If you want to know what's going on in some village, if you want to think about running for the board, or if you just want to kind of try out a committee to see if it would fit your interests. I always invite people to come and participate in the committee meetings. That doesn't mean that you, if you're not on the committee, it doesn't mean that you don't have valuable information or insight or suggestions to make, and we are so happy to hear them. So please be sure and, come to the meetings. They are posted on the website, so you can see when the committees are going to meet. People do come, and they do get to participate in the meetings, and we serve cookies.
Okay, Madam Chair, with that being said, would it be appropriate at this time, like on the special events, there are 3 individuals that I know are really anxious to get on that committee. Would it be appropriate to put them or add them to the committee at this time?
No, because the committee was already appointed in 2025. I mean, their appointments are not up until almost the end of 2026.
Okay. And how many people are on that committee? Do we know?
I I just mentioned them right up here. They're, no, I guess I did.
Okay, yeah. Did you have it on here, special events? I mean, I can tell you who's on it. Christie
I
Captain?
was just wondering the number, and do we limit the number, or?
So here's who was in attendance at the last meeting. Here is Christy Captain, Kristen Stone, Patty Palmer, Al Adolph, Louise Herndon, Katie Stetcher, Dina, Deanne Diner, whatever, Carol Mertens, and then there were 3 guests. So those are the people that are on your committee right now.
Any other board comments? Board comment? No? Member comment? What?
My name is Wayne Lystrom. I own 2 houses on Swampsford.
Can't hear you.
I think that's a first.
Was that the president that said that? Yes.
I own 2 houses on Swarthmore, 4840 East Swarthmore and 4854. What you two said just before your comments, you want people on there, and Karen, you told me, if in just or just for truth, I'll die before you go on to the judicial committee. I have volunteered for committees many, many times. I was on buildings and grounds 2 years ago, and I was pulled off by the chairman of SLV, or Sunland Village, and who was also the chairman of buildings and grounds. My email said, we're going in a different direction. So what you guys say does matter. I have volunteered for everyone, any one of them that you want me to put on, be put on. And know what? Because I'm just a little bit rough around the edge, maybe Wayne won't fit on this committee. So if you say we want people, then take them. If you look at that list, if the person, and I appreciate the knowledge that people have on these committees, right? They have, people have been on the committees for 4 or 5 years, they have a lot of knowledge. We appreciate that. But guess what? If they pass away, the knowledge goes. So why don't you, while they're living, nominate somebody else and say, here's your mentor, right? We have a mentor who's been there, right? I told my wife I wasn't going to speak, and but I'm sorry, when what was said goes against me totally, I have to say something, because you all know I volunteered. I told you 3 committees I would serve on. Guess what? None of them happened. So.
Darlene Roll.
I'm sorry, what?
Darlene Roll, 5027 East Emily Avenue, and I was one of the ones that visited the special events, and they said, oh, we can always use more people on our committee, and they had absolutely no problem. They would say they had to bring it to the board, but they had no problem. They said, we can always use more hands, more help. And so we just were waiting to see, because they already sent us out assignments that we're supposed to do. So if we aren't on the committee, we need to know. Because we went to the meeting, we listened to everything, we joined in, they set us up with jobs and assignments. So I'm just wondering, are we on the committee or are we not on the committee? Is there a number that you have to have or you can't go over? That's just what I want to know.
Well, the answer to your second question is, I don't know what the answer to that question is, but I'll find out. The
So,
first,
what I think is, the committee said now until the fall, so I think Christie is kind of recruiting you as a volunteer, because you came to the meeting, and so That would be my thing, that you're
That's
recruited as a.
That's not what she said.
Okay.
And why? Because it was, they were recruited in the fall, and I did put a request in that, you can't add one on. Does it have to be a year-long thing, and you have to start at a certain date and then end at a certain date? That's all I'm saying. If they need help, and you want to be on a committee, and you have the knowledge to be on their committee, why do we have to say, oh, well, you can't start until the fall, because that's when we do it, that's when we decide? Is there a certain number? That's what I want to know. Is there a certain amount of people that can be on the committees? And so you have to wait your turn, or you have to go in there or not? Are you telling me I'm looking for it, or?
Yeah.
Hold that thought.
Go ahead, Sue. It may take me a minute to find it.
Okay. Is there anybody else who has something to say? Okay.
Kathy Simmons, 4048 East Capri. I want to share Wayne's comments. Last year, I asked Tom Duffy, he was the president, if I could be on the judicial committee. I have an email from Tom that says I'd be an excellent candidate. I got an email from Karen saying that because I'm a winter resident, I could not participate.
I don't think that's exactly what I said. I think what I said is,
I got the email.
I didn't say because you were a winter resident. I said that the most crucial, no, I did not. I said the most crucial months for particularly the judicial committee is June, July, and August. Because the judicial committee has to get everything that's going to be put on the agenda for the board to put onto the ballot. It has to be done by October and November. And that was, I thought, a reason for saying, I'll be glad to put you on another committee, but not this one when you're not here during the crucial months.
Karen, when I ran for the board, I believe I could be absent from the board and take it on telephone. So is the judicial committee more important than the board? So can't you do that on a call, voice call, or?
Well, I suppose you could. But that's still, well, okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I suppose you could.
It's something I can do that,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of hard when you're back there and trying to make decisions right now and without looking up. So I totally understand, but my comment was, we should look at for some of those situations.
Okay. Any other comments?
I'm confused. Are we on member comments or are we on committee comments?
Member comments.
Member comments regarding committees. Okay, on the special events committee, that was your question?
Yes.
12 members for 3-year terms.
That means it's a 3-year term serving October through April.
Is there a limit how many you have to have? That's what we're asking for.
It calls for 12 committees.
And there can't be more than that? Right.
The policy says the committee shall be limited to 12 members.
How many are there now?
Under 12.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The date on the 29th.
Now, I have 12.
So that's, who was at the meeting?
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Chrissy, she's been a member, I would think.
She is the chair. And she does count. More than you know. But there are 12. And,
Have they moved?
let me talk to Christie and try to get some clarification as to what she was talking about and what she meant when she met with you, because I was not there. Okay. Annie, oh, you wanted to make a comment. You need to put the, thank you.
Hello.
What's your last name?
My name is Marilyn Hart, and I live on East Enid Circle,
Is that H Hart, H-A-R-T?
DT. 12 years ago, you voted in the colors for this community. When are we going to be allowed to vote for new colors of houses? I had a new roof put on my house. I was informed by James, the man from Titan Roofing, that black roofs are 5 to 10 degrees hotter than light-colored roofs. Up until 2011, you used to get a tax break if you put a light-colored roof on your house, but the CERC administration isn't favorable to giving people tax breaks that are merely peons. So, what, Jerry, like,
This is not the time to discuss that.
Yeah, this-
yeah,
this
when is the time to discuss it?
After member comments, we're discussing another item right now, please.
What are you discussing right now? How many people?
We
will be
are
on
discussing the
committee?
committee appointments. We need to stay on that track. You'll have your opportunity to,
I want to be on the architectural committee because cement block walls keep making this place hotter. I live here year-round, 120 degrees.
I understand that. You'll have your turn. You can do it during member comment after we went through the stuff.
Is there any more member comment on committee appointments? Tom, call the roll.
Anderson?
Excuse me, are we voting now on the committee appointments as corrected?
Yes.
With May?
Yes.
Also, yes.
Then I vote yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Duffy, yes. French?
Yes.
Atkins?
Yes?
MacArthur?
Yes.
Vote is 6-0, motion passes.
Okay, now we need to talk about replacing the south spa heater. The current 206,000 BTU gas heater was installed in April of 2016 and has exceeded its expected 7-year useful life. The unit is leaking and is expected to fail soon. You can either listen to me or you can see it on the screen. The location is the south pool area, installed in April 2016, 206,000 BTU, expected useful life 7 years, estimated cost to replace $5,000, including sales tax and installation. We will need approximately $500 in plumbing parts for the installation, in addition to the estimated heater cost. Summerlin Village Maintenance can perform the installation, which will save us a ton. The estimates are attached, and you've got them, don't you?
You want me to show those or not?
Sure.
So this is the first one from Inyo Pools. It's a raypack heater, setters and shipping, so the price is $3,680.99. You got tax, shipping, for a total of $4,061.46. For Leslie Pools, Pro. price was $3,956.75. So you got tax. Theirs was $4,316.81. And we had clean specialty and service. They had labor was installed in there, but so minus the labor was $4,377.98. So those are the three estimates that we received for that replacement of the flaw heater.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm told by Brian that even though they can do the installation, which will save us a bundle, we'll still need about $600 for additional parts and valves. So if you add that to the estimate, that comes to about $4,700. May I have a motion?
I move that the board approve the purchase and installation of a new spa heater for the South Spa, Small South Spa from Kenyu, and an amount not to exceed $4,700 to be paid from the restricted replacement reserve fund.
I second that.
Board discussion. Okay, member comment?
Dr. Cordell, 4523 East Delta Avenue, last name spelling F-L-E-M-I-N-G. My question is, this particular item had a 7-year life expectancy. We're now looking 3 years beyond that and replacing it. Where was the maintenance schedule in this process? Who was looking at it before it went out, well, shortly after the 7-year expiration date?
It's not out, it's still working, it's expecting to fail, it's leaking, so we're trying to get ahead of it before it actually fails.
Again, 7 years.
So
That's a recommended life expectancy. If it goes past that, it's a bonus for us. That's,
Doesn't make sense.
Our maintenance crew goes in and looks at these things periodically, so they're the ones doing the inspection, so they keep an eye on them.
Dr. Fleming, I think what they're trying to say is, we bought it in 2016. It had a 7-year life expectancy, which would have been, meant it died in 2023. So we're in 2026 now, so it's actually lived longer than it was estimated to have been good for.
Probably because the excellent maintenance it has received.
Okay, is the maintenance record available for review?
Darling?
Brian, probably have that.
Can it be made available?
Yeah, I keep 2 years of logs on testing of all the water.
You're a lawyer.
he's up there taking care of that
I was
sound.
going to say, step behind the curtain, Mr. Wizard.
I would have to find any receipts. 'Cause there are some parts that we have changed out over the last 10 years, but 10-year lifespan is a very good lifespan. Commercial spa, it runs 24/7.
So I'm not understanding what the problem is. It went past its life expectancy, that's all we can.
I was more concerned with the maintenance.
Yeah.
How they were dealing with the maintenance before it got to the point before it started leaking.
Well, again, it's, life expectancy is 7 years, so, it went past that point. It is leaking now, so, we're anticipating that it's gonna fail. And I think from their experience that when things start leaking, that it's gonna fail. So according to the 7 years, we could replace the fin, but it wouldn't have done us, we wanted to go as long as it can. We do that same way with our air conditioners on top of the buildings. We want them to go as far as they can. When they start failing, that's when we replace it.
But then it leaves the community with gap in availability of use.
That's why we're replacing it, so it doesn't fail. We're trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah, we're gonna replace it now so that the South Pool supply is not down, and that's, be able to use it. Because if we waited, and then we'd have to order the parts and order the stuff, then you're that much longer down. So we're trying to get ahead of it, to be able to hopefully keep the downtime as small as possible. So, that's, I don't understand what your concern is.
Okay, but you answered my question.
Okay.
I still want to see the maintenance records.
Well, if they're available, we can give it to you.
Should be available. There's no question asking if they are. They should be.
Crosby, 4523 East Dam Road. What's the life expectancy of the spas, do we know?
The spa?
Spas, they were just resurfaced.
Yeah, we just resurfaced. They're
What is
resurfaced.
of the heater, of this heater that we're wanting?
7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
It's
So
already
the
gone
new
10
ones-
years.
Okay, so the new ones are also just 7 years?
I expect so.
Oh, well, why don't we find out what their expectancy is and review that and make a decision of where we're gonna get it from?
Ryan, is that in the quotes, what their lifespan is?
Yeah, it would still be the same expected life expectancy. It's the same model. It does have some different valves in it, that control the flow a little differently. But it's still the same, material that the heat exchanger is made out of. And the old heater had cast iron headers, the new one has brass headers. So it would still be a 7-year life expectancy.
Do we know that for sure that 7 years again, or is it because it's new and improved, we get a little bit longer when we do like this, or?
Hopefully, we can get a little longer life out of it, we can improve.
Is there a maintenance plan that comes with it? What's the guarantee on it? Like, you put them in and that's it, see you guys later? See you in 7 years for another new one?
We just chemistry twice a day.
Well, yeah, that's the chemistry of your water though.
Right, that's what destroys the heater. That's what eats away the heat exchanger and the header, the water flows through.
Surely not.
Give me your name again.
Crosby, Stephanie.
Any other comments? Call roll.
Anderson?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Duffy? Yes. Fleming?
French?
French?
Yes.
French? Jenkins?
Yes.
MacArthur?
Yes.
Vote 6-0, and motion passes.
Okay, the last thing on our menu today is the tennis club fundraising request. The tennis club has submitted a fundraising request form to have an event in 2026 featuring the Johnny K. Band. The request form is in your director's packets, and do we have it?
Do you want me to go to it?
Sure.
The request?
May I have a motion?
I move that the board approve the tennis club's fundraising request for an event in 2026 featuring the John K. Band.
Second.
Board discussion? Nothing? Well, I hear they're always very popular, so
Yep.
that's all I know. Any member comment? Okay, the roll?
Anderson?
Yes.
Goss?
Yes.
Duffy? Yes. French?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
MacArthur?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Okay, this concludes the new business portion of the meeting. I now open the meeting to comments from the floor. All those speaking must be a member of the Sunland Village Community Association. Please begin by stating your name and address, and then slowly spell your last name. Comments are limited to appropriate SBCA topics, and your comments are limited to 3 minutes. There will be no board action regarding any comments. Anybody?
Lynn Conlon, 4722 East Camille Avenue. I would like to know when we are going to get the 7th board member.
I don't have an answer for you right now.
Why not? Why? Why not? We can't hear you. Get it on the mic. I can't hear you.
I thought you were meeting with your lawyers so that we could get a handle on when we would be able to have the next member.
That was not the purpose of the meeting.
You was the purpose of meeting with your lawyer, that wasn't the purpose of it, to figure out when, because that's what you said, you had to talk to your lawyer before you could decide on whether. What?
You would proceed or not.
Well, I know, I'm asking her.
Yeah.
And I can't talk to her when I'm talking to you. Anyway, do you have any idea when it will happen?
At this moment, I do not.
Why?
Darrell Frost, 4564 East Catalina, F-R-O-S-T. Same subject as the previous speaker. In the bylaws, Article 5, Section 4, page 42, says, I'll read it verbatim, within 30 days from such vacancy, the remaining members of the board shall appoint a director to fill the unexpired term of the vacating director. My question is, when did the exact date that the vacancy occurred?
I think
I'm not prepared to say that.
I think
She's not
it was
prepared to give an answer.
I don't know.
So like February 21st, an appointment will have been made, correct?
Not necessarily.
Well, that's what the bylaws say.
Well, the bylaw said that, but we all have to vote on it. We have to come to a consensus. And we don't have a consensus right now.
So what's the alternative?
It doesn't say, so we don't know.
The bylaws also says that the board can consist of as few as 5 members and as many as, what, 27 members?
Yes.
So I simply don't have an answer for you right now.
Well, the entire community, as you can see here, is waiting. Thank you.
I thought that commentary took his comment was let him wait.
Well, we have until February the 21st.
Why didn't we have a vote of this meeting? I requested it and I was told, oh, you have to have it on the agenda 7 days prior to the meeting. And I said,
Yeah, when did you submit it, Mark?
The agenda.
When did you submit that?
I submitted it on Friday,
Yeah.
the day the agenda came out, Jerry, the day it came out, I emailed our
you were
president,
told-
and
you
I
were
said,
What it was.
the day it was sent out, I emailed the president, and I said, why isn't this on the agenda? agenda. I was told, too bad, your request has to be made 7 days in advance.
There's documents that regulate that.
Okay,
Mark?
wait.
Well, I guess you can
His
just wait
request-
if there is that.
His request was made on Friday, February 6th. According to our documents, it says, any new matter to be presented to the board must be submitted to the SBCA president or secretary in writing at least 1 week in advance of the meeting date. At least 1 week
Why
in advance
wasn't
of
it
the
on
meeting
this
date.
agenda? This is an important issue. Why didn't you put it on this agenda? I was shocked when I read the agenda and I said, what? We have 30 days to do this. Why isn't this on the agenda? And that's why I wrote. And they said, you missed the deadline, sorry.
You've been a
Yeah,
member of this
requested-
board for 2 years. This is what it says in the documents. You should be familiar with this.
I think he said.
Exactly. Why wasn't it on the agenda? We're on the timeline here. You held a special meeting a week ago and said, oh, we gotta get this
What
done.
was the results of that meeting, Mark?
It was a deadline.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously,
That's right.
obviously you don't have someone else that's gonna vote your way, so you don't wanna have an election now. Maybe if the board listened to some of these people out there in our HOA, they,
voted you
someone would
in?
change their vote and there wouldn't be a stalemate anymore.
My name is Lynn Gregory, 4629 East Elena. First comment, watching you up here, if that was down here, you would have called this meeting to be adjourned. So why is it okay for them to act like that, but if anybody gets out of line out here, the agenda, we're done. Secondly, we're gonna go by what the paperwork says. You get to choose. Darrell Frost just read to you what the bylaws stated. He read what the agenda is supposed to be. And you're sitting here saying, we can choose what rules we want to follow and what rules we don't want to follow? Come on. This is crazy. When do you guys open your ears and stop having your own predetermined agendas and listen to the people who support you? I'm serious. Why is it okay for you to say, we're not going to follow this rule that's in the bylaws? Darrell's bylaws, 42, whatever it was, clearly stated. But you're
How long do we
stating,
have to do
but
that?
30 days.
Yes, and it's not 30 days yet. We are still working on the problem.
Okay, in case you guys can't figure this out, this is the biggest thing in this community right now. So if you guys could say, give us anything, we're working on it, we're listening to you, we're trying to figure this out, instead of just like, what I feel like is you guys are shutting us down and not even listening, and you have the person already picked that you want in that position. That's exactly
The documents govern this.
It's your show to adopt it.
Yeah, we still have time. We're not under a deadline right now to do that.
Okay, so you guys have a plan,
I told you we're working on it.
what are you working on?
I can't tell you at the time.
Why can't you tell us what you're working on? Where is the transparency that this gentleman was talking about earlier? That's what we want. We want transparency and
The
honesty.
reason why is because we have to do it in a closed session. So
all the members?
if we put that on the agenda today, the result will be the same.
How do you know?
Let's put it on the agenda today and find out.
You can't do that.
Can't put it on
You
this.
can't put it on this agenda because it would be a violation of our own document.
Okay, let's call a special meeting. Let's call a special meeting.
That's a possibility, but it's not today.
Wayne, put your name in there.
My name is Paul Myers. I live on 4733 Edgewood. Finally got it, not Edgemont. But let's just keep it light. I'm really excited to see a number of people here. I'm on the judicial committee. The board is correct in what they're saying. We have 30 days as of the special board meeting to replace that board member. Now, that's 30 days from the 21st. They have 16 days left, and if it's what you were mentioning before, if the letter has to go in 7 days, that leaves you, guess what? Nine days to make a decision on what's going to go on one item on the agenda. So they do have some time, and it is a sensitive area where it does have to be behind closed doors by law. And so they're doing things right. I'm not saying that I'm favorable of what's been going on, but we've got to go by the law and by the CCNRs and our state laws, statutes that require us to follow. So we'll just sit and watch and be patient and be civil about being board members, but please do come back. I'm really excited to see I have 103 people here. It is awesome.
I'm Wayne Lindstrom. I'm going to change my address this time. 4854 East Boston. Just kidding. I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit, guys. I really sat down here for one reason. January is 31 days, so it's not the 21st. It's actually the 19th. 30 days from the 21st. We have more days in January. What I would like, Karen, you to do is ask in this meeting, there's 103 people, thank you, Paul, who attended. Ask the people here if they would be willing to sit on the board for the remaining and have them come up here and just sign up so that you know who's interested. Instead of making it a secret thing, right? Guess what? You'll see who walks by. You can do an interview. You can do a meet the candidate, right? Those two did meet the candidate, right? We got to know them. That's why I think there's so much animosity, because we met them and we don't know about the other people. When Tom was elected twice, put on the board twice, we knew him. He was on the board before that. So that nobody said anything negative about Tom coming on, because he was on the board twice already, or once already. So if you have people that are standing behind me who want to be on the board, guess what? You have a big list of them then. And you can say, give me a writing why you want to be on the board. And you can say, because I'm not going to be one who writes. That guy has terrible penmanship, don't get him on the
Raise your hand if you'd like to be on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How about people?
Hi, my name is Terry Christensen. I am at 716 South Depot. This is way out of my wheelhouse. I'm not used to talking to a board like this, but I have two questions for you. First one is you've talked about the heater for the pool and other various things that would be considered, I guess, old business, right?
It's new business.
It's all, new business, okay, sorry. But I guess what I'm thinking is that the election situation seems like that would be considered old business that would want to be brought up, that somebody else wouldn't have to necessarily just put. I'm not understanding why it wouldn't be just a given that it would be put on here to be discussed.
I think the biggest reason is because there was a motion, it was seconded, there was extensive discussion, and it failed.
know either of these two people that are in question. I don't know either one of them, but, I would just really like to know if you would be willing, the three of you that don't want, the person that got all these, votes from the community, I would just really like to know why you would not want to use the person that was voted on. That there's something more going on that I don't understand, and I'm not trying to do a gotcha situation, I just want to understand. So if you could explain to me why you wouldn't choose somebody that the community voted for, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Well.
No board action will be taken at this time.
Oh, my.
No board action will be taken at this time. This is a time for you to.
Howard!
Okay, we're adjourned.